just coming on to see if anybody's on. Just going live now. Freestyle Black. Just turn this thing on real quick. Get this thing going. Okay. See if I get this thing real quick. I'm on live right now. Circling live, circling live, circling live. What's up? What's up? Just coming on just now. See if I can kick it on real quick. Turn the speaker off. Okay, I'm back on right now, so it's all good. Yeah, I thought I'd come on for like an hour. I just had to make an important phone call because I had to call family back. Talking about the weather. Yeah, thanks for what you said about that video. Yeah, I did that video. I got a little late start today because I was out and about, taking in the weather, and it got cool. But anyway, Sundays I like to get out a little bit and do stuff more so. Not that I don't do them every day, but Sundays a little bit out there, and I thought it was gonna be a little bit different, but the weather wasn't playing. So anyway, so I come kick it live. So there's a lot to talk about. So what's up? And I know you got to be live. I know you ain't watching Tiger Woods falling. Dang. See, I keep hearing all these temperatures back east. It's like, what? Ugh. And I'm up here wearing a hat on my head and jackets on. It's like, what? Dang. Oh, that's like the old school. Now, that's the old school spring that I remember. That's the old school spring that I remember. I haven't had one of them in years. That's how it was back in the day. Back in the day. Yeah, my uncle told me it's gonna be like 80 tomorrow in Virginia. I'm like, what? It's crazy. I haven't had them kind of spring days in so long. I don't know. But I know you ain't watching Tiger Woods because I was telling you he's stinking it up. You ain't say nothing about his game too much. I mean, you told me what he did Friday, but it didn't do too much. I checked the scoreboard. I was checking it out. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. This ain't '04. I remember when he had that, was it 2004? He had something where Prince, him and Prince took a picture because it was the Tiger Slam. That's when he couldn't do nothing wrong. He was crazy back then. I mean, he was the dude. He was the dude. He was on a mission. Yeah. Well, now I take that back. He should be on the senior tour now. We talk about senior citizen or old folks home. That's where he's been that way for what? After he won the 2019 Masters, it's been, because I mean that was a big win for him, but it's a done deal. But I remember when it was great though. I remember. And you do too. And he was something else for a while. If he can. I don't know if he can though. I don't know if he can. I don't know. I'm keeping it 100. I don't know if he can. Because it's kind of rough. It's kind of rough. But what a career he had, though. And there was a time that dude, he was something else. Well, that's because now they coming around the era after what he provided. He gave the blueprint. He was the blueprint for what you're seeing today. They weren't playing like he was playing when he was dominant. That's why they're not afraid. And plus, they're catching him 15, 20 years later. You got to remember that. These cats were pups when he was dominating. I mean, he was dominating. Yeah. Well, now it is. Yeah. But you got to remember when he was dominating, it was freaky. It was freaky. I hadn't seen too many things like it. But they're supposed to be up on par. I mean, gotta remember something. He's been doing it for 25 years. I mean, you know, it's a different ball game now. You know, I think that's the thing. Sometimes people misconstrue, thinking that someone's gonna be like that, playing at that level forever and a day, and you don't give us so much time. So he had a great run, incredible run. I mean, Phil was his next competition, and I tell all the time, Phil Nicholson in any other era would have been top 6, 7 ever, and would have gotten way more attention. But Tiger was so great that he doubled him up. He just was dominant. You know, yeah, that's just how great he was. Vijay Singh had that one year where he had a special, but they were never on Tiger's level. Sergio Garcia took forever and a day to win his first major, and that was on Tiger's level. As great as Rory McIlroy is, I can name these cats, but Tiger was on a different cut. Yeah. They changed the Masters course. They changed the golf course because of him. They made it Tiger proof. He was tearing that butt up. Yeah, well, that's after the fact though. If you talking about it took the video game, yeah. But I did see that picture of him with the ex-wife and his son and her baby, and cracked me up. Tiger did have some black in him because that picture, he wasn't going over there by that kid and her. That cracked me up. I'm like, Tiger got some black in him after all. Cracked me up. He's like, nah, that's okay. I ain't going over there. That picture had me laughing. I was cracking up. Like that ain't mine. I ain't. Oh yeah, well, I remember some of them balls bouncing back for him, and I mean, he was, you know, yeah, that picture had me in stitches. I said, he got some black in him after all. They always thought he was just all Coca Cabana. And Kelly, that was a brother move. If there ever was a brother move, I was laughing. I was like, "On, Tiger." And she took him, well, he had to pay up a lot of money. So, like, I ain't paying for that one, too. But anyway. But yeah, it's just like I said, it's the end of an era, though. So, yeah. Cats play long enough, you see it all. So, yeah. So, yeah, it's the last day of the NBA season. I guess I don't know if I'll do any. I don't know if I'll do my basketball videos. I did do the Brady video just now. It's hilarious. I was cracking up because I saw Charles Barkley and Shaq and them, and Ernie was saying, Chicago Bulls, congratulations. You're going to be hosting the playoffs, the in-season tournament game. Everybody made the playoffs. You still got to play the end thing, right? Because 7 through 9 still got to play for seeding. I mean, I thought they still make you play if you 7 through 9. They still make you play. I thought they did. Now, if your butt got to play Denver, you're going to wish you played 7 through 9. Tell you that now. I thought that's what it was. But either way, don't get too excited. You won't last long. Unless the refs come along. Ain't no way in the world. Boy, and if y'all got to play Denver, woo! I got Denver in 6. Actually, let me check out some real quick. Because if I'm not mistaken, let me see some real quick. How the refs help you? Yeah, y'all got to beat New Orleans. If y'all don't beat New Orleans and Golden State wins tonight, they overtake you. Because they got a tiebreaker that Sacramento do. So you ain't out the woods yet. You ain't out the woods yet. So I just had to go do a little investigating report because I knew I wasn't hallucinating. You got to beat New Orleans tonight. If you lose, then your butt, you better hope they don't. I'd laugh if you got to go play Golden State in Sacramento. That would be hilarious. Boy, Adam Silver gonna love it though. He couldn't have dreamt this up if he tried. It's a win-win for all parties. Yeah. I'm not sold on none of you though. So if you want my honest opinion, I'm not sold on none of you. I'm not sold on the Lakers, Golden State, or Sacramento, or Phoenix for that matter, because all y'all could go home, as far as I'm concerned. Ain't nobody no threat out of that bottom bunch. Unless you put Durant, LeBron, 80. At least you admit it. At least you admit it now. About time it took you. How's the season? 82 game season? About time you came out and admitted. I'm like, yeah. Steve Wonder could see this. Took you long enough to admit it. Got that right. You sound just like my homeboy back on the West Coast. That sounds just exactly like what he would say because he a Laker fan and he always boasts about the refs too. Except he been admitted it though. He hates the Lakers now for LeBron, but he admits about the refs and Adam Silver. At least she admitted. And you saw Rachel Nichols did too. She said, I don't know how Golden State gonna make it without the refs calling fouls. I was like, why did you say that, Rachel Nichols? Why? She didn't slip up either. Hmm. It can work against you. Because if y'all have an off night and LeBron don't play, that ain't gonna save you. Jamal Murray, tear your butt up. Um, don't forget about MPPJ, tear your butt up. Aaron Gordon, tear your butt up too. KCP, no, no. Jokic is a smart play. Denver doesn't make a lot of mistakes. I watched them play. Those cats don't make a lot of mistakes. They're well coached. Yeah, I'm gonna take this mess off. Got that taken off. Why I froze on? But anyway, we're in the same boat y'all in, except the only difference is that the East is somewhat more predictable. But we're in the same boat, except But again, I don't have no delusions though. We haven't played that good, not consistent, and you know, you keep playing like that, you're asking for yourself to get knocked out early. So we'll see. I hope you're right. But I don't know if you're the one who can win a chip, though. That's the only problem. So I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna see. This is what he do. But see, there's gonna come a time when he gonna have to like be more consistent. And I don't know. He has a tendency to just, we'll see. Tyler Hero came back. I saw Tyler Hero back, so surprised you ain't saying about old Tyler. You usually got something to say about old Tyler. Magic or sleepers? Well, I don't know how good they really are. I'd take a second round casualty, but they might be a sneak in the first round. We'll see. We'll see. I can't really make a gauge about them. We'll see. I know you are. You got more hope for Tyler than I do. I just be thinking he'd be too inconsistent though. I wish I felt like Tyler like you do, because when he balling, but when he acting like he just be funny time, I have issue with him. So we'll see. It's also because he be wilding sometimes. Sometimes he be shooting the rock too much. Sometimes he just misses assignments. And some of his injuries is because he's self-inflicted. Because you know, Yeah, we'll see. Not really. Not really. Because actually, he's a little bit more consistent. He's not as talented as Tyler, but he's a bit more consistent in what he does. I'd be tough on those guys because they get paid to knock shots down. They're supposed to be energy bar type players, and a lot of times they get caught kind of loafing. And if you think I'm tough on them, what do you think Spo is? I'm telling you, them two were fit to be gone if they had to pull the trigger. But because Dame being Damien, that's the reason why those two didn't get dealt. They were on the way out the door. You just don't know. Very reliable sources. They were gone. Duncan Robinson saved his behind in the finals against Denver because he balled pretty well. That's the only reason why he's still with the team now. They were almost fit to have him gone. I don't make this up. I don't make this up. Riley and them ain't been feeling them cats. And I do think there'll be some major head shaking if they don't make a run in deep in the playoffs. Because Bam plays hard, undersized, and he plays hard. He's getting an outside game. He's adding things to his repertoire, and he's had to carry a lot of weight. And Bam is an all-star caliber player. So there's a difference. You don't treat everybody the same. You know that. Besides, I'm gonna be honest with you. You see, because you didn't get to see 30 years ago in totality what role players were really like in that era. Tyler and Duncan Robinson would have been playing with Elijah or playing with Shaq. They'd have been on the perimeter. They'd have been what Steve Kerr was with the Bulls and Jordan and Duncan and them. That's what they would have been. You've seen it in an era where Steph Curry's influence and impact got cats shooting deep threes and dancing and shimmy and pumping around. That ain't what it was like. And that's what those two would have been like. They're not really they're deep, but because of the era and where they are, the era and where they are got a lot to do with it. So that's why it looks like I'm tougher. But I'm also like sometimes when people like you ask me, it helps, but they are doing stuff that's not really Miami Heat culture and system. You gotta remember, shooting threes and spotting up is not that's not their strength. They've had to adapt. I bet your cash money when Steph and Clay are gone, you'll see Heat culture come back. You're starting to see some stuff change now, but I'm just telling you, that's not the way that they operate. They had to adapt to the three ball. That wasn't what they do. I observed things. I seen teams do a lot of stuff they didn't want to do. I'm telling you, that Splash Brother life, no joke. You know, I mean, it changed the course of basketball. You've seen it with your own eyes. Yeah. Well, I think after who can I attribute that to? I think that was just part of him having to be more versatile because he did more to make his game more substantial. Just like Jokic, you don't even think about Jokic getting all them triple doubles. He passed LeBron up. He way up there. You don't even think about it. That's the impact of today's game. You know, I don't have no pet peeves about having a bad culture because I'd be saying what LeBron says it's overrated. So you're not gonna hear me say that it's a no, I think If you talking about the bag in terms of the money, you talking about in basketball. Specify which one you talking about because they two different ones, just so we know which one we talk about. You talking about the money or you talking about basketball? Which context? So I know. I will answer it. No, it's not necessary, but it's important to have tools. See, when LeBron says you don't, it's overrated. I said, well, most guys have to have tools because if they can go left, right, or they can dribble, or they can stop, start, or post up, repost, fade away shot, that's important. But no, flashy isn't a necessary. No, it's not. Where did he get white chocolate? Where's white chocolate at? And he was fancy and flashy. He got a ring in Miami, but he broke a lot of. So from having a big back, yeah, well, cats tend to like try to break off with ankles and shimmy and shake. Yeah, that's not gonna get you too far. You need a couple moves. If you got a couple moves, you know how to. Like Kevin McHale was an octopus. I never seen anyone do the stuff he did that close with his hands, but he showed that you didn't have to be all flashy. Evan Hayes was, yeah, he was relentless on the backboard. Yeah. I'd say the last one, yes. No, no, like I said, the flash is not necessary. Mm. Well, yeah, I did a video about it too. I called it the Gary Coleman statue. If you saw my video, I said, "Oh, so he's Gary Coleman and Sylvester Stallone. Rocky is like, you know." I'm like, okay, sure, we're good. Yeah, I mean, why he get the Gary Coleman statue? That's what's tripped me out. I was like, "What you talking about, Philly?" I was like, "Are y'all for real?" I mean, I know it's inflation and what have you, but this is like a bad joke. I mean, the last time back east, I was disappointed. Some I saw as a tribute was that Sean Taylor cut out in Washington. If you remember the Sean Taylor one, that was, uh, yeah, I remember very well. As a matter of fact, I had a neighbor who was rocking an Iverson jersey back then. I was, I was like, oh boy, but can't deny. Oh, okay. You've asked me before. I mean, I like, different ones. I just, I don't really have a lot per se. Yeah, I did a video about that, Carlton, today. I was talking about the Iran, Iraq. That well, all that stuff's going down. Believe me, it's gonna be World War III. Yeah, it's a lot going on. It's going down. The greed is going to destroy America and other places. You'll see. They've been they've been acting arrogant. It's about to come to a head. Yep. Yep. But anyway, yeah. And that's why I got through talking to my uncle. We was talking about that tonight. Yep. It's inevitable. Because you can't have all trillions of dollars of debt and all this war, all this stuff going on and trying to excite and get involved with all your folks and not expect something to come back in retaliation. Just too much. And it's inevitable. Yeah, I mean, my average in moments is like basically this playoff series against Milwaukee. I want to say in a one. I mean, it's a memorable. Hmm. Okay, I have to take your word for it. Okay, that's usually the toughest way to lose any type of fight, though. Hmm. I'll see the highlight of it. I'll peep it out. I haven't really watched UFC in a long time, but I'll peep it out though. I don't know. Hmm. Yeah, like I said, I'll catch it on YouTube. I'll catch a highlight. Hmm. Hmm. It's reading that thing. Hmm. I don't know what the thing happened. It's been stuck. So cat's not typing tonight because it's like, Mm. Well, he's money for him, but again, that's why I don't waste my time watching it. You still talking about Conor McGregor, and I ain't thought about Conor McGregor in about 8 years. But he got something on Dean. Yeah, it's always awesome. Trying to see what we got. Well, that never went away. It never went away. Put yourself in my shoes, and I'm gonna say it like this, because you probably were about what, you were about 8 when that verdict came back, pushing 8, and well, I had to thank you. I had to, because I get tired of him trying to suck up to somebody without balance. He doesn't have any balance. And it's, I equate these tap dancers with the Starburst crew. You can be conservative and you can think you this and that. And that's all right. That's your business, right? But why do you got to hold your ankles and go extra to say that you're black and conservative or you're black and Starburst? Why do you do that? You do yourself an injustice because then you make it sound like you have nothing else to fall back on. You sound like a one trick pony. And then the problem I have with him is that he's always trying to, like he's talking, he's representing a certain segment. But again, there's boundaries to it. And he's not political. He's not political to do stuff. Oh, well, that's true. Because I remember when he was with the Philadelphia paper, best show, period, the one that used to be on Fox, him and he was out the paper room. Chris Rose, John Kirk, the baseball player with the funny cap or helmet on his head. So, where'd you read that at? I don't think he came out and said it like that. I hope he didn't. But knowing him, he probably would. He may as well say it. I mean, when he said he dreams about doing whatever he can to make the mass some more money. So that spoke volumes in itself. Okay. I mean, when he came out and said he wants to make them as much money, he dreams of making his boss more money, then I'm like, yeah, yeah. He toe tap. So I can't take him seriously. But did you hear the latest though? I don't even think it's been probably put out there because I ain't for sure about it. I think him and Molly might be married. They was wearing the matching white outfits. I got a feeling something's up. It's not my business, but it's really kind of noticeable though. I think that's what's going on. She ain't going nowhere. So she ain't Jennifer Lopez, so it's not like she's gonna have some white Sherlock, because she likes the brothers. She ain't going nowhere. I agree with him. Now, something about that outfit and the way they look. They just look a little cozier. He's only in his 50s. He's a little bit, he's older than me, but he's only in his 50s. It's not like he's pushing 75 and she 40. She's not going to have no babies, though. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of brothers lined up. She's only going to mess with brothers of a certain dignitary. She ain't messing with cats. You know, it ain't gonna be a Larsa Pippen situation, in case you're wondering. I know you're hoping there's gonna be a Larsa Pippen thing with Molly. Molly, I don't think is gonna play the cougar role. I don't think so. Oh, she can, but I don't know if anybody's gonna. I don't know if she's gonna necessarily go for anybody. Usually, if a Mexican chick at that stage mess up a brother, she ain't gonna usually go out the yard. Stephen A can still get down. Well, I don't know if he will or not. He keeps his business pretty low. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I just noticed the wearing the white outfit and Mad Dog was on or something. So Mad Dog ain't stupid. He tap dances enough for Stephen A already, as you know, because they don't talk about sports per se, and he kind of looks at him like, you need me, I need you. It's a dual situation with the two, because Mad Dog persona ain't gonna really, it's gonna set some people off. So, oh, challenge, different type of New York there, my friend. That dog ain't gonna put, ain't gonna worry about him. That's the difference. Hmm. All right. Yeah, I've been hearing about that. Everybody's reporting that, but what they gonna replace him with? I mean, Paul Pierce is a good fill-in and has some moments. Rachel Nichols she's good fill-in. She has some moments. Sherm's not coming back because he's shermed out, as you know. And Keyshawn, if you do just football, he all right. His basketball is bought and paid for. So what you gonna bring? And you're not bringing little Wayne up. So what you gonna do? You got to have some star power, not. Well, yeah, he probably pull his wig off then. That's about the only thing that might save his behind. I don't think it's gonna save him though. Uh, excuse me. I don't think that's gonna save that wax show. Skip's going to go back home. He messed up mightily, mightily. I hope so too. Go home and say, look, I'll never badmouth a brother again. Yeah. Yeah, and the ironic thing, wouldn't it be something that Brady goes over there and talks to Ocho and because they were teammates in New England, but somebody goes talk to Ocho and Shannon. Wouldn't that be something? Because imagine Shannon gets Tom Brady on Club Shay Shay. What do you talk about? Wouldn't that be something? That would definitely be Skip Bayless's nail in the coffin. You got that right. Yep. That's what I was saying. And he probably would too. Because he's not gonna sit there and the way it's the way Skip did it. He disrespected, he tried to emasculate Shannon. That's one thing to slurp Brady. Listen, yeah, I know Brady. I'll call him the GOAT quarterback for now, but Mahomes is right there as far as I'm concerned. He's a 1A, he's on it. But to say that because a guy won more rings than you that you're worthless, I mean, when you're one of the greatest at your position, it was an insult. And then the whole thing with Hamlin, just Skip just trash, yo. So, but he got it coming to him. Skip's karma train ain't gonna miss him. He was reckless and he messed up a sure thing. Excuse me. Pardon me. See, because I know, I'm going to tell you something. In the white world, he messed up. He messed up bad. Nobody feels sorry for him now because they think he got over. You got to remember something. When he left ESPN, right? He left Tony Kornheiser, Wilborn. He got hooked up in a way where he was gonna be bigger than them. Okay. So they had words about him and they had takes on him, but they thought gimmick dude. He went big. But then this here make him the butt of sports analysts. This would be the biggest butt joke there ever was because the emergence of how Shannon Sharp blows up. Well, the reason why they defend us in this circumstance is because there's a white boy who put his foot in his behind. And one thing they say is, shut up, Skip. Shut up. Stop. Shut up. See, white folk don't make that mistake of that money. He did. And it rolled him up into a banana. All he had to do was let Shannon go over there with the alcohol and the rags on and talk crazy. And just slurp it up and maybe debate him on something. But don't do what you did. He went off the deep end. He went off the rails. Now he be sitting up there watching him with Paul. Now he be up there slurping LeBron and Sana slurped up and just desperate. Just desperate. And that's the problem he's run into. Because his shark jock and his flip flop is not cool. And it's not that I'm gonna tell you like this. It's not that people are so in love with Shannon Sharp, but they got tired of a loudmouth white boy who popped off, who was just saying, you know, and he wasn't backing up. And all he had to do was stay in his lane and stay accurate, and he couldn't do that. So, well, he didn't just start problems; he created problems. There's a difference. See, the problem that he created is that he messed up relationships. You've been in a situation where you got to fix a problem that didn't need to be fixed, and then it takes on a whole different level, and and he can have black people around him, but he got to know a certain type of folk. You don't treat everybody the same. That's why he got to kind of suck on lemons with Paul Pierce to an extent, but not too far. But with Keyshawn and Richard Sherman, he got ate up, and because they were playing Hungry Hungry Hippo, and he was gobbling like Pac-Man. They're like, and then Michael Irvin was like, that's what the problem he ran into, and he got overwhelmed, overpowered by three cats. Yeah, that what happened, and then he got buried. And it didn't work because those three plus Little Wayne, and then it took a minute before you brought Rachel Nichols, but the Pierce is the only movie that came out that will balance him out. Oh yeah, I saw Michael Irvin's OJ take, and I was laughing. I'm like, what is he talking about? He says, well, if you have these kind of problems with your significant other, you need to talk them out and be. I'm like, what the heck is you, Michael Irvin? I said, what you been smoking? Sounds like he's Dr. Feelgood. Yeah, well, when he said that if LeBron comes out of this and goes to the finals and wins, he'll be the GOAT. I'm like, you snorting and you got bought and paid for. So you didn't know that Strahan said that who's a houseboy? Who did Strahan call a houseboy? Yeah, well, that's why Strahan's got the job he's got. I mean, he wouldn't be on there with. And don't get me started. Now look, I respect Robin Roberts. She's a good journalist and everything. But Starburst crew agenda. She's bad though, but it's agenda. Then we got George Stephanopoulos, who was involved with the Clintons, and he did some funny business. I still don't know how he got hooked up. George Stephanopoulos got hooked up. That's why he got that ABC gig. In case you don't know, Strahan crossed over. He actually, as twisted as it is, he got bigger than Tiki, and he got bigger than Eli. I know he had that We Fly Jim Jones, had his little routine, but Strahan got bigger. The sack record may have helped. I remember, what was it? I think it was Warren Sapp. I think they called him Fruity. Nate's cool. Nate's cool. He's not really a deep journalist, but I know what you mean. He's got more of a cooler persona. Strahan be bopping his head like he's OJ Jr. He be doing that head bop too, because he do be bopping. He head bopper. Brothers start head bopping, they almost think they got a little white in them. Just saying, keep your eyes on the head bop. He do that a lot. Ain't like he think he a real journalist. He be cross his legs and try to talk articulate. I don't take Strahan that serious. Well, it's the thing I used to have a problem with LJ. Like, well, and I'm like, that used to make me cringe. I was like, boy, I said, man, come on now. Valley Brothers. That's like Valley Brothers. That's like brother who went to the Valley, Cali with the that was before your time, but there was a movie called Valley Girl with oh God, he's on the tip of my tongue. He was married to Lisa Marie Presley, Nick Cage. And anyway, they're about Valley folks because that was a way of life back in the 80s. The Valley, it's like part of the new wave, and they had the hair and like, it's like, and we really like, and that's how they talk and how they act. So when cats start head bopping, my homeboy and I used to crack up off of that, but because that was something we picked up on because It's kind of like Carlton Banks would do that, try to sound all dignified and deep, pretentious. Turkey learned about two new words, and you can't tell him he don't belong in the Oxford Dictionary. He'd be bopping. So that's what's up. But that's a way of life for some of them, though. My favorite what? Most hilarious celebrity? Probably Paul Mooney. Oh, Paul Mooney. Because when he did Diana Ross in the audience, that was the most hilarious thing. That disc was cold. She walked out the building. I forgot how it went down, but that was cold. They don't usually happen too often. It's usually like a comedian does it. It's not. And I think, who else would I pick on? Oh, if you wanted in sports, T.O. when he said when he told when he came on TV and he said Max Kellerman is blacker than you, Stephen A. That was like, ooh, there you go. There you go. There you go. That was one of the most coldest I've ever seen. Oh well, they don't do it like that. They do it sneaky. Like how it happened with Candace Owens, Omarosa, with Trump acting, like it's right, real cold and calculated, like I don't know you. It's not done. I mean, if you want to go by that logic, everything that's happening to Puffy now is like that. It's all calculated. Now, because you know why? Because he's still getting paid. And he wasn't delusional to not get paid. You can say whatever you want to say about lemonade, lemon drops. That cat stay getting paid because CNN got to come off for 25 mil. X got to pay a certain amount. He got his story out. Now, I might not be all cool with everything he do or say. Well, one thing about lemon drops, he get paid. He get paid. He figured out a way where he don't get snowed. So, because see, the ones that get what you're getting at, Michael, he been had a wake up call, but they took him out, man. I mean, there was no wake up call for Michael because I will tell you, well, I'll tell you this. The only time I seen Michael like he was like shook was at the 88 Grammys when they shut him out the award show. That's the only time. But you got to remember something. He was on his business. He owned that publishing. He had the masters. They didn't get him like that except for the 88 Grammys. That's the only time I seen him got shook because he didn't get an award. But they didn't get him, you know, he fixed their behinds. And he knew for a long time. He knew. Well, she probably didn't know him in terms of personally. It was a difference when they had a dynamic as adults, you know. I met her when I was a young boy too. She was married to Governor Warner in Virginia. Liz was a nice looking woman, could act, but she was 304 though. And she loved them white boys who'd be drunk. That whole her story was crazy with Richard Burton and all that. Freak too, but she got turned up by Mickey Rooney as a kid though. Mickey was a player, yo. Mickey liked them young. That's a whole nother story. I didn't till you mentioned her name because it kind of woke me up to thinking about that. Yeah, I think she. So what happened was, not I don't know like that though. I think Michael wanted it, but she wasn't gonna play it. I think it was '84. So Prince and his daddy went to her house. But she was trying to get him some attention there too. Um, I think she may have liked the brother, but it wasn't like noticeable. You know what I mean? But she should though. She played Cleopatra. You would think. Come on now. Yeah, yeah. We don't talk about that near enough. She did play Cleopatra. Hmm. But you gotta remember when she came out, the white boys was jumping all on her on that couch. That's how she got hooked up. They tagged up on it. And she, I don't know, I know she like reggae music. I remember one time, and I only say that because it's a possibility, but I don't know. I'd have to do some research on that. I have to do some research on that. Well, it's par for the course. I hate to say it. That's part of that business, yo. But she got her health, as far as I know. She ain't the only one though. She ain't the only one. So yeah, I remember that. She used to hang out with Jack Nicholson and all that. She's hanging out with Spielberg, all that. But you gotta remember something. You looking at it in cancel culture eyes at your age and your time and this era. People didn't talk about it back then. That's what I gotta try to tell you. They didn't talk about it back then. You didn't have social media, and if they wanted to get rid of you, they just beat you up or something. They didn't make it like it is now. It's still not even. It's still people like that going on right now. I bet you there's some young actors right now drinking stuff. It's just that they pick who they want to pick. But yeah, and you could almost think that was a ritual. But see, she was a made woman because her grandfather, I believe, was in the business, so she had connections. But they sacrifice. That's what they do. Hmm. Well, that's how he got the kind of money he got and notoriety. I mean, that's par for the course. You saying truth, but you got to understand that's how he's ended up in all those movies. You got to give up something to get something, and he became the biggest brand from wrestler. You know, it's a business. It's a business. And again, you know, Part of the industry. He gonna stay around free because he's a cash cow for so many hands. You know, they laugh about the slap. That's why I tell all the time I'm not trying to hear about justice and all this stuff because they bought and paid for. And you think that's the first time he slapped his wife in public? But anyway, no one's gonna hold it against him. Yeah. Well, they mad at OJ. They mad at OJ because he had himself protected, not for what you think. It's got to do with him. They mad at OJ because he beat them at the wrong game. He also had his money. He had high tier lawyers. He beat them at their game. It's not even about Ron and Nicole. It never was. They know they bunch of both. They know they both ice cream heads. Okay, both of them were ice cream heads. You know, ice cream ice. But the thing is, a black man who utilized all his resources to combat at a high level is some smart, that's some mission impossible. You know, you can be black and have a lawyer to get you to a plea deal or get you to negotiate or, but you don't come out with a team that can cross examine and strip down the other side bare and then see what you got now. And got an answer for everything you throw out there and they're coming deep. That's what makes people so, because forget LeBron James. Yeah, that's true, Tom. But forget about LeBron super team and Durant super team. OJ started the real super team because they had an answer for everything they threw at him. Everything. And when he brought F. Lee Bailey out, I was like, oh boy. Gave him the high guns. So that's how it was. And that's what messed them up. And you're right. They pride got hurt. But Dana didn't get Dana is not even the worst culprit when we get to this level. But it's, you know, it's that they just don't have they don't respect your intelligence. They don't respect your black mind. They don't respect your, you know, if he was white, they'd have bought the building from for winning this case. Uh, but that's what they do. And you see it enough too, where you just, it's sad reality. Sad reality. right. That's what happened. So I'm back. That thing got big. Okay, I had to zoom this thing up. Oh, I don't pay Drake no mind. Back and forth beef for what? He ain't got no beef. What, he going to Burger King or something? Please. Nobody that's I'm gonna keep this 100 and keep it simple. No real hip hop head is worried about no Drake beef. He is too soft to have beef. And remember, the only time he ever clapped on nobody was who? Meek Mills. I think you seen how Meek Mills then turned out. No one is taking him serious for no beef. I mean, that's the fact. That's as deep as he's ever gone on anybody. Clapping on Meek Mills. And you seen how Meek Mills get his cheeks clapped. Come on now. So yeah. I think you're waiting for me to say something funny there, because that's the only reason why you would mention that one. I don't pay Drake no mind. Drake, play. Drake. Drake better Drake better go just settle for being like, whatever he do, because it's just not something that you can take serious. That's all. Can't take Drake serious. He's successful. I give him that. But won't be. Won't be. Because Jenner, both. Did you see Willie D? Willie D had me rolling. Willie D said he, she, Bruce, Caitlyn, Bruce had me rolling. Won't be canceled because there's money that's being invested to pimp him. Jenna's bought and paid for. And I'm not talking about the body parts. Yeah, you should see Willie D. He had an interview stream about Caitlyn. I watched it the other night. I was cracking up. Willie D, if you get a chance, yeah, clown Caitlyn bad. Ate Caitlyn up. I was cracking up in here. I was cracking up. Went to town on Caitlyn. Did a segment about Carl Douglas too. No, not the body parts. I did the body parts. I did the body parts, but he said he, she, but I said the body parts. I'm the one that came with the body parts. Not Willie D. I did. In fact, I just came up with him because we were so busy talking about it, but he said he, she, but I said the body parts. But see, with Jenner is being pimped by Trump, because Trump made some donation to that. When the black folks had Trump go to that Chick-fil-A the other day. Anyway, Jenner was like, well, Trump's donating so much money to the black cause, unlike any president. But I recall it was a few years ago, Jenner was all upset because Trump didn't have a neutralized bathroom. So, you know, so, you know, Caitlyn be tripping, whatever. No, we clowning on. I said Bruce, the one that's known killer. Caitlyn's the one that's never did anything. I know. Yeah. Funny how that works. But yeah. If I don't see Caitlyn Jenner no time soon, I won't lose no sleep. Forehead. Because of that forehead. Yeah, I heard Chloe's ex got bombed because people were giving condolences. She do look different though. She looks like she got some black in her though. Yeah. Yeah, she got features. Natural features too. Yeah. I don't know. I know Kim and OJ did mess around. That was the going thing back in the day. They was swapping, a lot of swapping. You remember OJ was paying for everybody. They ain't had no money. That's the part they never talk about. Kardashian had some bread because he was a lost, you know, had a degree, had his license, but he didn't have no OJ. When they moved to their place. OJ was covering a lot of people. OJ was scary bread. He had scary bread. Only thing I heard about was his daddy. That was it. Dad was a drag queen back in Frisco, back in the day. Never picked up nothing fruity about juice. Nothing. Nothing. Not a thing. You could say he was no. He was one of them, but he wasn't even the main lawyer. Now you want to know a story about that about Robert? Robert was put on the dream team because of OJ, but he wasn't even licensed for the case. Okay. He just happened to be a best friend that was hooked up. See, people don't understand how rich OJ had money. OJ had so much money, Kato Kalin lived on the guest house and he even really know him. He represented OJ, but he wasn't licensed for the case. That's what a lot of people don't even know. He was just there like as a support. He was a lawyer, but he didn't have OJ's bag. No, never, nothing, never heard nobody say about OJ. Nothing fruity. Nothing. Now, if you want to say tap dancing, I'll give you that. And you want to say he shuffled, I'll give you that. But fruity, no. Uh-uh. Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, usually with certain cats, you kind of, you know, a lot of people don't know OJ grew up in that Frisco hood. So he had some. Now you could say the thug tendencies, but I didn't see it too much, because it didn't it wore off with that whole thing in Vegas. Only because people talk because he got that lip assist in his mouth, but I don't think he fruity. He just got that lip assist with that gap in his mouth. That's all. He country, and he can come off corny. I'll give you that. Country and corny, and he try hard. There's some shuffling that he be doing, but I don't get no fruity out of him. His ex-wife said he was though, but you gotta remember, if you break up with a woman and certain things go on, she might say anything about you, but she's not supposed to because again, your bedroom should be your bedroom. That should be like off limits. Just say the thing didn't work, you got some money, and you keep it moving. You don't put no stuff out there like that. That's what Tim Duncan's ex-wife did. You don't say no mess like that. Because if you saying that, that makes you look more suspect than them because what you trying to say, you know. No, he had the command of it because he had the force. They all had different roles. Barry Sheck was there for DNA. Dershowitz covered a certain angle. Effley Bailey was directly there for Furman. Um, Carl Douglas was there on the street. They had different roles that they had. Robert Shapiro was the one that was trying to, he was the deal maker. He was the peacemaker. He was trying to negotiate. So they all had different roles. They couldn't get jealous of a man that was obviously the leader of the situation because he front and center got stuff done. That's the difference. You know, yeah. But they all had roles. That's why they were Dream Team. They weren't just there as they were going to attack the credibility and break the wall down. So you had Barry Sheck was there for DNA forensics. Dershowitz was going to do his role. Effley Bailey, a guy after Furman on the details. Robert Shapiro was a negotiator, so they all had different roles that they played. That's why they was a dream team, and they did a great job. They tore the prosecutors behind up because Christopher Darden never connected parts properly. Marsha Clark was trying to over lawyer and be slick and polished, and then that white dude that was there, they got trumped up by Furman bad. They never recovered from that. And what people don't understand about law is real simple. In that this way, you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. So the other side has to have concrete. If anything falls off the tracks, you got to let them walk. That's the reality. Because you can't lock up people because you think or maybe or it should. It's not how it goes. Too often than not, people they when and I think that if you're coming along now, if you're of a certain age now, you got a better grasp of than people who've been hating for 30 years because they didn't really study what it's about. Well, sometimes when you see cases, they didn't fall in the lust. They fell in a sublime thinking that it was a slam dunk situation because of what seemed like forecast, but they couldn't put it together to make it cohesive. If you say he's your one and only suspect, then you got to make sure the trail of blood, the timeline, the dates, the facts actually show themselves. You show that picture of him in the police lineup 2 days after he got back with no marks on his neck, his back, and just a little cut on his finger and nothing on his legs, anybody knows, okay, so Goldman was a karate dude, right? He'd have kicked OJ in the shins. He could have kicked him in his legs. Game over. They didn't have answers for detailed stuff. Time didn't add up. I always say timeline, blood, all that stuff didn't add up. And how the heck you gonna get to LAX to Chicago? Those are two of the biggest airports in the country. Come on now. Come again. If you're talking about in lust, yeah, Darden and Marsha did have a fling. The dude that was living with them get away. You talking about Kato Kalin? Are you talking about Kato? Yeah, Marsha had her black moment with she had her Negro moment with Christopher Darden. That didn't last long. Yeah. Kato was the houseboy. That's how much money OJ had. OJ had so much money. Could you imagine having a big old house and you got somebody that's staying in a room and you don't even really know him? You picked him at the club because you thought he was cool and quirky. That's all that was. White situation. That's how you know OJ had money and he was in white world. You never see Tyrone or Tayshawn get to stay at a mansion for like 20 years and you don't even, that never happens in black world. But in white world, that's common. That's how you know OJ had the bag, the original bag. Probably was. Because I'm sure he scored some drugs too. Stupid. They always snorting coke. Now, if you want to get OJ for the coke, fine. You want to get him for the win, for the wine, fine. You want to get him for the white women, fine. Those three W's, that's what OJ was rolling with. White women, white wine, white coke. Ain't no argument about the three W's. But the whack job, no, no. I believe he was tapping it too. He always tapping Nicole. Nicole was like, so you start to see things unfold more and more as time goes on. And I like to break it down logically because like I said, when I watched Joe Brown, he broke it down to a point where OJ shouldn't even gone to court. And when he broke it down like he did, it's like, yeah, that didn't add up. So yeah, Mark Furman was hitting on Nicole too. Okay, so we got some more coming through. I was just trying to check some stuff out. That's what the point of the matter is coming to say. There was no fight back when you got arthritic knees, and he'd have to swing, and he had but one little mark on his finger. One little mark. They showed Ronald Goldman's fingers, they had marks all galore. OJ had this much of a mark. Ron Goldman had two handfuls of marks on his fingers. So it never added up. Anyway, I'm gonna call it night. I gotta go eat. But I'll be back tomorrow. Appreciate everybody that came through. Thank you. Stay safe, stay warm, stay cool. Always appreciate the usuals. And he had like a mark on the ring finger, but it wasn't fight marks. It was a cut, but it wasn't fight marks. There's a difference. Fight marks would have been what Ronald Goldman's fingers was like. If you need to go look, Google it, Ronald Goldman's fingers were like mangled with blood and marks. There wasn't that on OJ's finger. OJ had like one cut on the index finger. That's it. One part. Next time you come through. Yeah, well, if you watched him on all right. Um if you watched him on with Mace and Cam, yeah, he definitely changed when he got out of the joint the second time for real. So yeah. Anyway, I will be back tomorrow, and glad everybody came through. Peace the best. Appreciate everybody. Thanks again. Always Ted, Seth, Time. Everyone that came through. Stay up. Okay, one time I'm out.